Hi, I'm Kate Hydro,
I'm David Hydro.
and we had our kitchen remodeled by G Contracting in Allentown. We chose G Contracting after looking for contractors for quite a few, almost probably a year, I would say. We looked for contractors. We started with another company, in fact, and it became pretty apparent that they weren't able to deliver what we wanted. There was a lot of things that they left out in the details, so that when we got to the finalization of the budget and we're about to sign the contract, we realized that everything was above and beyond what we could afford, and it just wasn't to the plan that we had originally talked about. So we put the brakes on that, and then we kept looking, and we called G Contracting. I had just found them, honestly, I think it was Facebook, and I looked at their pictures. They were local, they seemed very professional, so we called them. My grandfather always has this thing where he says you need to call 3. Jim came. He was actually the first appointment that we had, and Jim came, and immediately I was like, I'm sold, because he was just so organized and detailed in the process for what was going to happen, which is what was lacking in anybody else that we experienced. The communication was spot on from setting up to the appointment to immediately after following up. There was no like wait time, we didn't have to follow up with them. And he was able to be very reassuring of everything is going to be, there's not going to be any surprises. And he kind of proved that with the tools that, they use and the process that they follow. So our main issue was functionality. Absolutely. It looked like we had a fairly decent sized kitchen and lots of cabinets, but nothing functioned. It was just, it was a mess trying to get everybody in there and participate. You can't have really more than one person doing anything in the kitchen because of just the workaround space, and aesthetically it just wasn't not. We were very specific about what we wanted, and we met with Lindsay and gave her sort of a rough idea of a layout, and she did an amazing job putting that on paper. I felt like had the right balance of giving us exactly what we wanted, but pushing back in areas where she knew better. She was great with that. A lot of her suggestions and just tweaks that she made to what we had asked of her turned out amazing. I would say number one, communication. It's very hard to try and get somebody just to return your phone calls, or they'll make an appointment with you and then they'll blow you off. So number one, communication, but number two, just the organization. In general, they're very detailed oriented. So it was almost like nothing could fall through the cracks because they had an answer to everything, from start to finish. So that was, I think, the main thing.
I would say through having conversations with other contractors as well, like talking about what we wanted to have done did not seem out of the ordinary. I would say that we've talked with people who thought we were crazy for wanting to take down a wall or doing what we wanted to do, and it was just kind of like deer in the headlights, didn't know where to start with the project, where I would say with you guys, it just seemed like every day business, and there was a plan with how to do it.
Yeah.
Very easy. Like we didn't have no concern. You guys didn't bother us unless we bothered the workers with what we had questions on, but definitely no hassle.
Honestly, I think we threw more curveballs at them than they threw at us, because we, as things were taking shape, we realized, we probably want to do this. We want to take out a portion of this wall here. We want to add some lighting here, and they just, without missing a beat, it didn't even set anything back time-wise, which we, I think, would have expected or very much understood, but they didn't miss a beat at all. Well, Kirk, I think, was probably the person I saw the most. I love Kirk. I made him coffee every morning. So he was a great guy, very easygoing. My dogs loved him. They would probably get more excited to see him than some of our other family members.
Oh.
So yeah, no, Kirk was great. That we can all be here together, and we don't necessarily need to be doing the same thing, but we're all together. I can be making dinner or cleaning or whatever. Cora can be doing homework at the table. It sounds so cheesy, but it seriously has impacted, I think, just our life at home for the better so much, just because we can all just be together and function in the space, and it doesn't feel overbearing even when, life happens and it's chaos and it doesn't look like this. It honestly doesn't. I don't walk in and think, oh my God, my kitchen. Like, it's just, you just go with it, you know what I mean? It's still beautiful. The backdrop is beautiful even amongst the mess,
Yeah.
And I will say, so to a previous question, the thing that, stands out the most as far as like the after picture is we were very concerned about updating it and over updating it, because the rest of the house is very old, which we love. And so we didn't want the kitchen to feel disconnected from the rest of our house. And my uncle came in and they were the first ones to see it after it had been done. And he said, it looks like it's always been here. Like, that this is how it was. You know what I mean? It doesn't look absolutely brand new, but it does look brand new. So they kept the age and the character of the home, which I think is, not an easy thing to do. Credit to Lindsay too, because there was a couple things where we're like, well, maybe we should do this. And she's like, you could, but this would probably work better. And she was absolutely right.
I would say the same thing with her. I think the whole house kind of pulls together. So no matter where you are, you feel like you're part of what's going on. Like, you can actually talk to people or see people as they're here, and it's not separated by the walls, and definitely functionality.
Yeah.
Just a little different.